Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. We'll be waiting for 2 more minutes so everyone could join the webinar, and then we'll begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Priorities version 23.0 in-depth webinar. I hope that everyone could hear me. I'm the partner enablement expert here at Priority. Some of you I have already met, some of you I still haven't, and today this is the first time we meet, so hi. And regardless, I hope to meet all of you in our annual partners event in the end of this month that will take place in Israel. Everyone here in Priority are really excited about this event, and we can't wait to meet you all. With me today, there's the marvelous Maral, who will be assisting me during this webinar. So thank you, Maral. And also Lior from our marketing team, who's handling all the wonderful webinars that we are sharing. And all of us will be in the annual event, and we're really looking forward to see you. So we've gathered here today to provide you in-depth information of some of the main features that we released. And for some, we'll have an actual demo. This webinar is important for us to share the knowledge with you as our partners, the ones that represent the company worldwide. So it's really necessary to know all the new features and be able to pass it over to your customers as well. You can find the list of the new features in Priorities release notes in the expert portal. And now, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so in our webinar today, we will focus on 3 topics that are more significant in the new version. First is our Priority mobile app that has some amazing new features that I'll show you in a demo. Second is our MRP module. We've added more capabilities to our commercial system, allowing you to improve your planning. And the third is some new features in our Priority payments. At the end, we'll have a Q&A. And during the webinar, you can write down your questions in the chat box at the right side of your screen, and we'll answer your questions as we move through the presentation. At the end of the webinar, I'll review all of your questions and send answers to each and each one of you by email. So even if the webinar ends, don't worry, we have the list of the questions. It doesn't fade away. All the unanswered questions will be answered. I'll begin with Priority Mobile, which I have to say is personally my favorite here in Priority. So Priority Mobile exists from version 15, quite some time ago. And we put a lot of efforts and resources each version to improve its use and functionality. We see it as an unseparated part of our strategy and always include it in our roadmap for continuous improvement. And since COVID era, this has really become crucial for organizations to have the ability of working away from the office while maintaining all the requirements for full workday and handling tasks. And today as well, we sell our mobile almost to every customer, and its price is also very affordable. And frankly, think of yourselves. Would you be able to live one day without your mobile? That's really hard. I know I wouldn't. So we really encourage you all to use it and even show your customers while you're in a meeting that you are really working with it. It's a cross-the-board solution that suits all verticals. So any one of your customers could use it, not to mention it's really efficient, no-code tool. Just a second. Okay. You see it? Sorry, I'm facing technical issues. This always happens in a live demo. Okay. So the main feature that we added to the mobile in version 23.0 is the multi-view. What does multi-view mean? Let's say I'm a field technician. What would my standard workday look like? At the beginning of my workday, I would like to see my calls for today. Which customers am I visiting? When I arrive at the customer, I want to see if I have preventative maintenance to do while I'm already there. And maybe I need to open a new call for another malfunction of a machine. And as you already figured yourselves, all these cases come from the service call form using different functionality. So instead of going in and out from the app, you can create the same form multiple times and have access to all relevant data in efficient, convenient way. And this really opens the mobile to a whole new variety of functionalities, as we will show you. Before version 23.0, all the searches that we set up reflected from the desktop to the mobile. And we did so because we thought it would ease on the users. I mean, if you need something at the office, you might need the same thing while you're out. And also, we wanted to emphasize that the mobile is just like the desktop, and you don't need to do things differently. But from feedbacks and market research that we made, we found out that it's not always right. Sometimes your needs change when you're away from your desktop, and you need to do things differently and have the flexibility. So we cut the link between a desktop search to mobile search, and now you can set up a unique process for your mobile based on two new features. The first is saved search for each form in the mobile, and the second is a setup search for current user. And this will automatically define search per user, meaning if you have a department of technicians, you don't need to set up a search for each one of them separately. You choose current user, and it will show results according to the user logged in with its credentials. And another personalization feature is the capability to rename fields and titles in the mobile differently from the desktop. Okay, so let's have a demo and see what it's like. Please be patient as I switch to my mobile view, and you know, this is a live demo, so I hope we won't have any surprises today. Okay, just a second. I'll enlarge it. Okay. And I'm sorry that I'm looking downwards and not at you. I'm not being rude. I'm just operating my mobile. Okay. So what you see now is how the widget of the mobile app looks. It also shows you notifications if you have tasks or forms that await you, and press on it, and you enter to what we call the lobby. And the lobby presents all our apps under My Apps. And the first two apps, I'll show you with the mouse. Okay, the sales order demo and the service demo are apps that I have generated, and the others are the ready-to-use apps. You can see we have sales, CRM, purchasing, sales reps, and warehouse management, and we'll discuss this when we finish the demo. So let's have a look at a service demo app I've generated by myself. Okay, so let's say I'm a technician. As part of my daily routine, I visit customers, I fix problems, and sometimes I need to open a new service call. And I cannot carry a laptop all the time, but I can do all these things from my mobile app very easily. And this is how. At the beginning of my workday, I look at my calls for today. And as I open it, you see I have a pop-up message that you absolutely have no idea what it is because it's in Hebrew. But it's not too late to learn Hebrew before the partners event. But anyway, I will translate it for you. This is the mobile asking for permission to activate the GPS. And the app is asking it for a reason. It's not just doing things. I specifically defined it for service call purpose because in my company, when we provide services, we are asked to report location. Okay. So I see it opens a list of calls of customers that their labeled is planned for today. So let's look at Vintage Village, okay, the first customer on the list. And when I'm away from the office, the app assists me by sliding right. It provides me options to call the customer or navigate to my destination. And it can also send an email, but there is no email address mentioned for this customer, so it doesn't show it, but just know that there's an option. And you can see that if I press the route, it opens the navigation tools according to my mobile. So you don't really need to do much or define things specifically. The app is adjustable to your mobile definitions. Okay, let's cancel that and dive inside. So I take a look to see what's the problem in the call. I look at the part number and the call type, and we can define whatever fields that you need. I can update the service reports, parts, and also the labor. Okay, and I can also update the description of the repair that I made. Okay, replace the broken part. And I also can add a photo of before and after as a reference to my repair. As you can see, I press on the plus and open the camera, say hi to Maral. Okay, so then after I finished handling the call, I can also change the status from draft to resolved. And you already know that the BPM and approval lists are taken from your definitions and business processes as defined in the system. So the system will alert the next person that should handle the call. And then on my way to make coffee, the maintenance guy in the company is asking me to see another problem that he found in one of their machines. So I have a form, new service call. And I want to emphasize this now. I have two forms that derives exactly from the same form, service call. But each time it's being used differently with different functionality. And this is exactly the multi-view, which you couldn't do before version 23.0. I want the customer to use the same form with different behavior each time. So now I want you to notice something as I open the new service call. Usually there's a filter in here in the right upper corner of the screen. And now it's not there because I defined a fixed search in the generator that does not allow users to see anything other than what we defined for them in the app. And think of that. That really makes sense, because when a technician opens a new call, he doesn't need to see all the other calls or other technicians' calls. That's a mess. I want him to be focused on the job he needs to do and not waste time filtering information while he's already at the customer. I want a clean and clear screen that allows me just opening a new call. And this really came from our customers' requests. The people in the field always don't operate the system as well as the back office or employees in the office, so they need a simple and efficient tool. And you see new behavior, same form. So I press on the plus button to add a new call. And I insert the details of the customer Vintage Village because I'm already there. Okay. And then I go to the machine with the malfunction, and I can also scan with the barcode the number of the machine. Okay. So now let's see. I analyze. So now I look at the machine and I analyze that the problem is that I need to replace the connector. So I go to the service reports part. Okay, and it's giving me a message that I'm not defined as a service personnel. That's true, I'm pre-sale, the system don't lie, but I'll press OK anyway. And now I will add part number. Okay, and this is the connector, and mentioning the actual quantity because I'm already there. I don't need blend quantity. Okay, and now I change the status. It'll save just a second. Sorry. Okay. And now, again, I change the status from a draft to resolved. And the next approver, who probably sits in the office, receives an alert from the system that the call was resolved, and he will continue to handle it, issue invoice or price quote, whatever they need. Okay, so now I'm done with my customer for today, and I'm ready to go to another satisfied customer. And this is not just for service calls and technicians. We can also see this as a sales aspect. And I will enter to the sales order demo app that I have generated. Okay, so now I'm a sales manager going to customers. Now I'm with my customer, John Wick, and I would like to discuss with him all the open price quotes to see if we can progress to sales orders. So I open the app and I see my open price quotations. And this time, if I swipe again, you can see that there is only the call button. And that's because I didn't update the new address as they just moved to a new office. So the system really shows you only relevant details, not just icons. So I see that the first quote is for, sorry. Okay, so let's take a look at the first quote. And I look at the itemized quotation. And I see that he wants to purchase 25 t-shirts. So I'm discussing this with him, and he actually wants to buy 30 shirts and not 25. So I can insert and change the quantity. Okay, I can also look at the part availability to see how many items I have in stock, and I see that I have plenty. Then I can go back to the actions and I can print the price quotation. Okay, and this is through the actions list. And the format I choose is defined from the system, and I chose click to sign. I can open it. Sorry, it takes time in Samsung. Okay, and here's our quotation, and I can show it to the customer, verify all the details, and you can see that we also have the signature component. I go back and add a signature. And this also saves it in the attachments automatically. Then I can also change it to authorized. And I can also open an order automatically from the actions list. And this team in the office will receive an alert. Okay, so while I'm already there, I also want to increase my business. I'm opening a new sales order and showing my customer items in a catalog view. Okay, let's do this. Okay, and again, you can see that I have eliminated the search option because I wanted just opening sales order. I press on the plus button and I mention the customer. Okay, sorry, just a second. Okay, so I've entered the customer's name and now I want to show him all my items in a catalog view. I press the add button and then I press on use chosen price list. And this is something that I've defined from the system to the customer. Sorry, I always forget to set the date. But the system alerts, thankfully. Okay, and then I choose the chosen price list. And I can see all my items in catalog view. I don't know why the photos don't upload. Maybe it takes a few minutes because we did see the black t-shirt in the example before. Okay, but now my customer can see all my items in a catalog view. It's very convenient and very nice visually. And you can also see that items in stock are mentioned in, are written in green. Red is out of stock, so it's very useful. And he wants to purchase for me two Ray-Ban sunglasses. But for one pair, he's asking for blue lenses. Okay, so I can also mention that in the comments. I can add my automatic signature, blue lens, one pair. Okay, and again, I can send him order confirmation, add a signature, and change the status to sales manager approval. Okay, so now I'm done with John Wick and I want to move on to my next customer. But wait, where should I go? I remember that I also have the Open Sales Order app in my mobile, so I can open it, see what orders are assigned under my name, and maybe look for another customer to contact and visit to promote their orders. So I see we have John Wick, and I see that there's Spice Box. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so now you can see that I have the details, but if I can point your attention to this field, which I will show you just a second, also from the generator itself. Okay, you see here, it says my lovely customer. And that's the personalization tool of revising headlines, titles, and fields. Instead of writing customer name, I wanted to do something nice and fun for my customers. Okay, and again, everything that you saw is thankful to the multi-view that allows us to generate two functionalities, two different uses and behaviors from one form. Of course, two in my example, but you can do this as multiple times as you need. So all the features that I've showed you could be done with any other form in the system, warehouse management, purchasing, and more. So I'll disconnect my mobile now, and we'll see the back end of the generator. Just a second. Okay, I hope that everyone sees it. Okay, so this is my homepage, and you can see, sorry, I'm just moving between two screens and it's like the Twilight Zone in here. Okay, so I'm entering the application generator, and this is what the backend part of the system looks like. And I want to show you how to define all the new features. So first in the app, I see the app I created and the name. And then if I go down to the sub level, I see all the forms, actions, procedures that I have generated. You can see it says the type here, form, program. Okay, and just to do a little recap for the mobile capabilities that we saw, for all the actions that involve printing, I'll show you. We can decide the printing format, whether it's Word or HTML. Of course, that we recommend the Word. And we can also define the format according to what we created in the system. It opens up the list. Okay, so for all the forms related to part items, you can choose a catalog view in here. And this is not new, I'm just showing you these capabilities. And now let's see what's new and added to version 23.0. So as you can see, all the forms are arranged according to the form ID for app. And this shows you for each form, okay, let's say orders, which are the sub-levels underneath it and related to it. And we defined it via the app upper level form. In here, you can see that we can choose between the two forms that we've created, thanks to the multi-view option that we couldn't do this before. And again, if I'll show you, sorry, just a second. We'll get to that in a minute. But just to show you, you can see that I have two forms, same forms, with different functionality. One time as my open sales orders, and the second for new sales order. Okay, so now I will show you how I achieve the functionality I planned for the forms via the new button, Saved Search from App. Just a second. Okay, so this is the new button. It wasn't available in the older versions. So as I open the search, you can see that the mechanism is similar to a regular search in the system, but let's see what's unique to the mobile. In the open sales orders that I showed, I wanted to achieve two things. The first is that I didn't want my sales reps to see other reps' orders. This is confidential in my company, so I don't want people to see other people's details. So I checked set as a default, and also a fixed search, which is new. And this option eliminates the search in the mobile, as I showed to you, no filter icon. And the second is that I want the same conditions for all my sales reps. And in the past, I could define it by name or group of users. But starting this version, we added a value that provides you automation, and that's the value current user that you can see. They made it blue, so sometimes it's really hard to notice, but it's usually the first value in the list. And this allows me to determine the search once, and it reflects individually according to the user logged into the mobile. Okay, so this is really exciting. And as for the personalization capabilities, we've added the column title in application that you can change as you wish. And you can also do this in the fields of the form, change the menus. I'll show you the field that I have changed. If I go down another sub-level. Okay, so you see the field title was customer name originally, and I changed it to my lovely customer. So everything I showed you really opens up a whole new world of options, definitions, functionalities in the mobile. It's very easy, intuitive, no-code tool that allows me to generate an app in minutes and work wherever I am just by using my mobile. So let's get back to our presentation to discuss the part numbers and offerings of the mobile. Okay, so everyone sees the presentation. All right. I'll take a sip. For the mobile app, we have 3 offerings. The first is Priority Mobile App, which is part number APP001. It includes our ready-to-use apps that I showed you without the app generator. This is suitable for small and simple customers who need limited applications. And the second, is the basic generator. For customers with the generator, the offer includes all our ready-to-use apps and personalized apps without the multi-view and saved searches that I have now presented. They provide you the basic functionalities for working with the mobile. You can make calls, navigate, and do barcode scanning. Subscription customers can get the mobile app without the generator and use the limited capabilities, or add the generator and choose between the basic or the premium offering. For perpetual customers, the mobile app includes the basic generator, and they can either use it or upgrade to premium, which I will now show. So the premium generator will include everything in basic, plus the unique mobile features like the multi-view, unique search, and also catalog view and signing documents. And since the new features and offerings occurred after the price list of 2023 was published, you will not see the updated details there. So it was really important for us to share and explain this with you today. If you have any questions, you can contact us. So now I would like to discuss 2 more significant topics from the latest version, which are the MRP planning and priority payments. So the MRP is a heavy subject. It's critical for customers because it affects purchase orders, inventory, supply dates, and hence it affects the company's cash flow. And also, if you don't plan your orders right and you're late in your due date, this also affects your customer satisfaction. So that's a meaningful model. And as you all know, this is also one of our most sophisticated mechanisms in priority, and we haven't changed it in years. So now we've decided to revise it and add capabilities to the commercial system. Some of them were inspired by our capabilities we have in our industrial MRP. So starting version 23, when running the commercial MRP, you can limit the due date on sales orders, and the MRP will calculate the needs accordingly. And the commercial MRP can deduct quantities from sales orders and service call from the quantities on the forecasts. And by the way, the service calls were added for the manufacturing MRP just recently. The commercial MRP takes in consideration also assemblies in multiple aspects: safety stock, purchase orders, and alternative parts. And as I'm sure you already know, one of the challenges in MRP is to analyze the results. So in order to make it easier to analyze, we've added more detailed logs and explanation to the MRP results. In addition, we also continued to add functionality to MRP for manufacturers. Organizations that use bill of materials and sell some of the child parts separately will be able to decide if they want to deduct forecasts with sales orders only, or together with sales orders for their parent parts as well. So for example, if there is a printer manufacturer that sells printers together with toners, but also sells toners individually, they can now decide that sales orders for printers with toners will not deduct from the toner forecast. And our final subject for today is priority payments. So priority payments is not new, but I wanted to have a short recap over it. It provides our end customer a variety of options to make payment via credit card, digital wallet, or bank transfer. They can do it via click to pay for a sole transaction, or they can log into the portal and see a lot of information, open invoices, past payments, and more. So until version 23.0, a customer could only make full payment in the portal and click to pay. We received feedback from many customers and companies to allow partial payment, as companies sometimes prefer to have partial payment than no payment at all. So now our customers can decide which amount from total they wish to pay, and the balance, of course, will remain open until full payment is made. And we've added another payment mean that was really anticipated, which is the Apple Pay. And this could only be done by iOS operating system, of course. And by the way, customers really enjoy paying with digital wallets. This is so common and easy. So we're glad that Apple Pay was added, and now more customers could join us. So now, after you've seen everything, I will check out the checkbox and reply some of your questions. Let's see. Just a second, I'm reviewing it. Okay. We have been able to sign documents in the basic app generator to date. Will this only be available in premium going forward, or will it continue to be available as now? Okay, meaning if you had mobile capabilities before, we will not withdraw functionality. So the new offering will be relevant for new mobile users. Okay, this is a good question. What happens if I had a search that I defined in my desktop also for my mobile? So starting this version, there is no connection between the desktop and the mobile search. So you will need to define the search again from the mobile generator or the mobile itself. Okay, let's see what else is relevant for everyone. Okay, something about the MRP. Will you include more documents in MRP calculations, such as blanket orders? Yes, we'll include purchase blanket orders in the future versions. I'm sure that you've all heard it in Nicole's webinar. Okay, all the other questions we will reply personally by email. So we've reached the end of our webinar. I would like to thank you for your time and attention. I hope that you've learned something new today and that the webinar was useful. And I invite all of you to upgrade your environments and check out the new features yourselves. We're here for you for any question you may have. And as I mentioned, all your questions will be answered by email. I really hope to meet all of you in person in the end of the month in our annual partners event. It's going to be a good mix of fun and knowledge, so you don't want to miss it. Thank you all again. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.